Good evening, I'm Greg Conley, the Chief of Police here in the city of McKinney. I have a prepared statement for you. Eric Casebold has resigned from the McKinney Police Department. As the Chief of Police, I want to say to our community that the actions of Casebold, as seen on the video of the disturbance at the community pool, are indefensible. Our policies, our training, our practice do not support his actions. He came into the call out of control, and as the video shows, was out of control during the incident. I had 12 officers on the scene, and 11 of them performed according to their training. They did an excellent job. Our citizens called us to a fight in progress and general disturbance at the community pool. We responded. I do not condone the actions of those individuals who violated the rules of the community, showed disrespect to the security person on scene, and to the officers who responded. However, we as a department are held to a high standard of action as we do our jobs. I support the fine men and women of the McKinney Police Department who day in and day out do an outstanding job on behalf of all of our citizens. I've had a number of meetings with local community leaders, and we agree on this. McKinney is a wonderful city. It is a great place in which to live, work, and visit. We are committed to keeping it that way. We will continue to work together in the days ahead to strengthen relationships with all who call this great city home. I am encouraged by the support of our local community. Our residents met with me and said, Chief, we will hold you accountable, but we can take care of our own house. To all the citizens of McKinney, I say to you, thank you for your support, and I look forward to working together with you to keep this city one of the best communities in America to call home. At this time, I'd like to introduce our mayor, Mayor Brian Lockmiller. He has a statement.
Thank you. Over the past few days, my primary goal and responsibility has been to monitor and to reassure our residents in our community that we're going about this investigation in a proper way, in a quick way, and that most of all that to make sure that we have a peaceful response to the actions that took place. Over the past several days, I've been meeting with residents as well and representatives from our community to reassure them that we were following that investigative process and that it would be an open and fair process that is legally required. I've received many emails and many phone calls, and I think it's important to point out that while Friday's incident demanded and received our fullest attention, it is not indicative of McKinney as a whole. We have good, law-abiding citizens throughout our community, including our Craig Ranch neighborhood. We have good public servants in our police department and our fire department. The actions of any one individual do not define our community as a whole. I appreciate the efforts of Chief Conley during the investigative process and the willingness of our community to peacefully express their views regarding this incident while we work through this. We will continue to evaluate these events and continue to reach out to community members throughout our city to help move our community forward in a positive manner. As I said in the past, and I said initially when this all happened, our expectation as a city council and as our city management is that all city employees act professionally with an attitude of service to our community. I believe our employees strive for this and will continue to do so. I also want to thank our religious leaders that I met with last evening and their willingness to work with us as we work through this process, and their willingness to continue to work with us and all of our residents from all over the community so that we can move forward together in a positive manner. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. At this time, we will take just a few questions.
Police Chief, does this mean that his resignation, will he be able to keep his pension, his benefits?
I believe that that's correct.
Was he forced to resign, or did he resign on his own?
He resigned on his own will.
So the internal affairs investigation is now essentially over?
Yes, he's no longer an employee of the department.
How will this affect the one case? I mean, there was one person who was arrested initially. Is
That case has
clear?
been dropped.
That case has been
Yes.
When do you expect charges to be filed on Mr. Casebolt?
We're continuing an investigation. We are continuing into all the allegations that are being presented to us, and that any part of a criminal investigation regarding anyone will take a matter of time for us to work through all those allegations and those people who have come forward to us to complain.
Are you investigating instances?
Sorry, you're gonna have to raise your hand because I'm having trouble hearing everybody speak at once. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
Chief, did he say anything? What did he say to you when he resigned? Was he
I've not
compliant?
talked to Corporal Casebolt. That was done through the attorneys, and so I have nothing on that. Yes, sir.
When did this investigation start? In other words, did he resign under investigation?
Yes, he resigned under investigation.
Who is his attorney?
I'm sorry, ma'am.
We read that this was not in the Friday debrief, what happened, that you guys only learned of this when it was posted to social media. Is that
Okay, well,
correct?
no, that's not exactly correct. It happened late Friday night. We were aware early Saturday morning that there may be an issue, there may be video. From that point on, we began looking for the video and ultimately found the video in question on Saturday afternoon and continued the investigative process from there. Yes, sir.
Can you talk to us a little bit about his background in the department? Does he have another complaints in the past?
Okay. I've been here 6 weeks, have looked into some things. I've not really read his file. As part of the investigative process, I would have been presented his complete file at the end of the process. There have been some other complaints, but I can't detail any of those at this time. Okay? Yes, sir.
Plans to look at the training that your officers go through?
Yeah. We are always evaluating our training. Again, we'll evaluate our training and the message to our officers, but again, I would emphasize that I had 12 officers on the scene, 11 of them did exactly what we would want them to do, and I think that's clear on the video. I'll take one more question.
You've seen that people in the community have come to his defense. One woman saying he deserves a medal for how he acted. I'd like to know your reaction to those comments and what you'd like to say to those residents who are standing.
Well, I think my statement pretty much gives my reaction and what I wanted to say, what I wanted to communicate to our community, and thank them all for their support. We have great support for our department in the community, and I can't thank them enough for everything that they do for us. So thank you.
Thank you,
I have a
Chief.
question for the mayor, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Yeah, one thing that we hear over and over, I've heard from everyone on every side of this, is that this is the #1 place to live. That's from the Time Magazine report last fall. How did something like this happen, the #1 place to live in America?
Well, that's a good question because from my standpoint, I think we are a great place to live. I've lived here a long time. And as I said in my statement, I don't think that, any one incident, any one individual can clearly define a community as a whole now or for the next year or for the next 10 years. And I think that's how we have to look at it. We have to get past this. We have to understand what took place. There's still investigation, as the chief mentioned. And I think that when we get past that, we're going to continue to meet with community leaders and say, okay, what did we learn from this? And how do we continue to build our community and make it stronger? And
Mr. Mayor here, do you believe that because you wear a badge here in your city, that you're above the law? Because we've seen people on Facebook with fights that have been picked up on assault charges immediately. So now that we have video of an officer assaulting a minor, shouldn't there be charges filed?
Well, as I said, I hold our staff, we all hold our staff accountable. We think that everybody has they have to operate a certain way. And the chief said that as well. I'm not going to comment as far as any criminal prosecution. That's not within my realm. But I do believe that we should hold our staff and our employees accountable when we do that.
Mayor, is there anything that the city and you personally would say to Mr. Beckton and the other teams who are currently on evidence?
I've reached out to some of their representatives and talked with them. And again, without talking about the details or who did what or when they did what led up to this incident, I did tell them that ultimately that as a father myself, I was sorry that this incident occurred. I certainly felt sorry for them because of the incident, which I think any parent would. But again, I wasn't there. I saw the video like everybody else did. I responded to the video. I immediately, did what I was supposed to do as a mayor from the standpoint of meeting with our department understanding what the investigation would be, and then of course trying to communicate as best I could to our citizens that we were going to try to move forward quickly so that we could try to get this behind us.
Mr. Mayor, are you concerned with the other aspect of this story, which was adults who were reportedly berating and in some cases in racial terms, but also physically fighting children and teenagers at this event? Has that aspect of this case been addressed?
Well, I think there's a, as I said, I think there's a, I hate to call it a learning event, but we all have to learn from what occurred and how do we address this and how do we move forward. And I think that ultimately as a community, again, when I met with the leaders last night, it wasn't limited to pastors from East McKinney or from West McKinney. They were from churches all over the community. They represented thousands of people that live in this community. They're people that I trust, people that I've worked with in the past. And I think we all agree that there's some education that needs to occur, but there's also a realization that, and you could ask them that there has to be an expectation and training as to how you relate to police officers as well as an individual. And so, we're going to work through all of that and try to, again, get past this and make our community stronger. Yes, sir.
Was there any, or the chief too, was there any, besides just a case for resign, did he give any apology, any type of statement at all?
I was not involved in. I was not involved in that discussion. So.
Was there anything, any comment that he said he lost it, or he get an apology or anything?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question, but we are going to have to draw this to an end.
Was there any kind of statement through the attorney?
It was just a simple resignation. I resigned. That was it. Yes. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Yes, it will be posted on the web, and you will have a copy of the statement.
Along with these two statements?
Ours, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys very much.